Okay, right, I've had quite a good response with regards to the pencil bowls that I made. What I thought I'd do is I thought I'd do another pencil project for everyone to see. Something a little bit different this time. I'm going to mix this one up with a bit of resin in there as well, so see how that comes out. Okay, so what I've got so far is I've got a quite a large bowl here, which I've oiled up as well. So it's important to oil the bowl thoroughly because you want this project to just pop straight out of the bowl really. Otherwise it's going to stick to this and it's going to be a bit of a nightmare to get off. You can get it off, but it's not very easy. So what I've done is I've oiled this up. You can use any type of oil really. I've used some boiled linseed oil just because I've got it in the shed really, so I made it a bit greasy. Now what I need to do is I've got my pencils here, so quite a number of pencils as you can see. Now these ones are round ones. This is okay for doing this type of job because they're going to be sealed with resin anyway. I've no idea how this is going to turn out, but normally I'd get square pencils so they can be glued together, but I'm not going to glue these. I'm going to let the resin do all the work. Okay, so I've chosen a base here as well. So I want a base at the bottom really of the bowl because these pencils are very fragile and they do tend to break up. So I want a nice sort of sturdy base on the bottom of this sort of pot or bowl I'm going to make. So I've chosen this. I think it's a bit of walnut, but so this will go in the bottom here. So I'll place that into the bowl already. And then what I've got here is I've got a centre really, so obviously I'm going to bore out the centre, but I need something for everything to stick around. And what I've done here is I need the pencils to kind of get close and stick all the way around it. Otherwise if I just chuck them all in, it's going to go everywhere. So what I've done is I've got these little loom bands here, which basically I've from this box here, stolen from my daughter's bedroom. Not really. If for any reason we do get to keep some of these in there and we see some of these in there still, then it's still going to look quite colourful. So the idea around this is I'm going to try to get these to sit inside here. So I'll give that a go and I'll come back to you when I've done that. Right, so what I've done here is I've put all the pencils, well, I've secured the pencils around this block here, and I've used these loom bands, as we call them, to secure the pencils to the block. And then I've got some smaller pencils here, and I've just basically slotted them inside the hole there because obviously the pencils were higher than the block. I think the block finishes about here. So I wanted this to finish. I wanted to get all the pencils in the top here because I'm just going to have a, when I finish this, I'm going to need all the pencils coming up here as well. So I've just put all those inside there. So they're just basically just slotted in to that. I'm not too worried about gaps and things because the resin will fill in all the areas that I don't fill there. So now I need to bulk around and fill the pencils around here as well. So we'll see how that goes, and then I'll come back to you on that. Okay, so this is as far as I've got. Made a little schoolboy error, and I've run out of pencils by quite a bit, to be fair. So far we've used 150 large pencils. I'm not too sure actually on there. It's probably another 50 pencils I expect, little ones in the top. So what I've done is I've actually glued these larger pencils around the block that's in there. I don't know if you can see that or not, probably not. You can see how many pencils. This is going to be quite a large project, this one. And I've started just to fill these kind of in around that now. So obviously I've got this base here which is all glued up with CA glue. This is obviously around a piece of a block already, so then I'm just going to fill in the gaps. I've run out of pencils, so I'm going to have to buy some more, fill those around there, and then what I have to do is just build another layer of pencils all the way around here, and then we fill it all with resin and see what we get really. So that's as far as we've got so far. So I'll come back to you when I've bought some more pencils. Okay, so what I've done now is I'm now super gluing pencils now around the main base. So obviously you can see here I've got a bottom base in, which is obviously going to help me form the base of this kind of vase or bowl or pot or whatever it's going to be. Not too sure what it's going to end up like yet, but I'm hoping it's going to look, you know, pretty cool. So I've basically super glued a layer of pencils all the way around, which has allowed me to kind of form, you know, kind of little cup, which then I've put in all these pencils inside it. As you can see, there's quite a lot of pencils in here. So far, I think we've used what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 packets of 30 pencils. I've got a few more packets here. It's not a cheap exercise, this one. So I'm going to keep on gluing these pencils around. I'm not sure whether to stop at 2 layers or whether to go for 3 layers yet. But we'll see what happens. But this could be quite an interesting little project. Hopefully you guys will like this. So I'll carry on gluing. So as we can see, got 2 layers at the moment. I may go for 3 layers, possibly 4 layers. I don't know yet. I'm still kind of debating that. But there's a hell of a lot of pencils in here, and it's painfully boring sticking these pencils together. So we have 3 layers now around here. Again, I'm sure you've made note that basically these pencils are round. So like other projects that I've done with pencils, and you may have seen on YouTube, they've used square pencils so that they stick together and there's no gaps. I'm not bothered about that with this project because I am intending to fill the entire pencils with resin, as we discussed earlier on. So any gaps will be filled with the resin anyway. So there it is so far. I say I've not finished yet. So we'll carry on with the immense gluing and of these pencils. Okay, so we've got 4 layers now of pencils. God, I'm pretty bored now, and my hands are killing me from squeezing the super glue, and I've gone through nearly 2 of these super glues. So this is starting to become quite an expensive kind of project, this one. That's the amount of pencils I've used so far. God knows how many's in there now. I've got a little small pack of pencils left. So what I need to do now is I need to fill this with resin to fill in all the gaps. This bowl that I initially was going to use, now I've started to build this is going to be really no good because the resin's just going to sit here, and it's not going to cover everywhere I need it to cover really. So I kind of need like a bucket, I think, of some form that's going to come up to about here, so I can just literally fill the whole thing with resin. I don't want to use too much. I just want to, you know, I want it to slot into the bucket quite nicely, and so I'm going to need to find something like that. I may even have to purchase something on eBay or something before I can finish this project really. So there we have it so far. Okay, right, so I've managed to get this into this pot now. So I've just basically, I've still got 3 layers of pencils around there, but I've just basically cut it off a little bit so it fits nicely in there. And I've decided to put this in here as well now. Before I didn't have this, but I think this might be quite good as, you know, like a base at the top. I think that would finish it off quite well. So the idea now is to mix up some epoxy resin, which I have here. So I've got part B and the part A with my scales that I've got, and I'm going to need a fair bit of this resin. So I do have a bit more than this. This is only a little bit in here, but I do have some more. And the idea is to fill all the gaps and areas with this resin, and then let it set overnight. So I'll get on and do that now, and then we'll come back to you once I've started to do that. Okay, so I've got this back up on the lathe now. It's now got all resin all inside it. This looks pretty big. No idea how this is going to turn out at all. Let's hope that we can make something from it, and hopefully whatever it is, it will look quite good. But you never know with these things. So let's see how we get on. Okay, so as you can see, this is coming on. It's looking a lot better, but looking quite rough at the moment. But that's just only natural, really, with these pencils. They're not the best wood, and we can finish those off when we get to the final stage of what we're going to do and how we're going to do this. We can just finish it off nice afterwards, hopefully. So as you can see, this is coming out all right here. So I don't really know how to shape it or finish it off just yet, but we're getting an idea of hopefully what it's going to look like. But as I say, it may well change quite a bit yet, we don't know. Now I'm going over this lightly now, using a carbide. Initially, I mean, with these types of projects, anything kind of with pencils and resin, it really doesn't look like it's going to be any good at the beginning, because you know the pencils fly off everywhere. You know, the resin is really quite tough, and it just pings off all over the place. You know, and you think to yourself, oh my god, you know, what have I done here really? But you just got to be patient with it and keep going. Eventually it does come out okay. But now what I'm doing is I'm just going to take it a little bit easier now, because if I use any force on these pencils, they just start digging holes and all sorts of stuff. So I'm just going to go very gentle, just to try and smooth it off a little bit before I put the sandpaper on it and start trying to get our finish. Right, okay, so I have changed the shape of this again, as you can see. So I'm not sure if I've finished yet or not, but well, definitely not finished, but in regards to the shape. What I'm going to do now is there is some holes in here, bits of where the resin didn't get into, and then obviously some holes here, and also some fallouts from some of the there's a few along here, I think. So what I'm going to do, I know last time what we did is we put some pencils in and glued them in, so earlier on we did that, but I've had another idea, going back to the milliput putty resin. I think this will work really well. So obviously I can, I've got like a yellowy grey one here, I've got the terracotta one which might work quite well, I've got the white one, I think there is a black one as well, I think, somewhere. So I'm going to basically just mix up a few bits and pieces, different colours, and then I'm just going to fill the gaps with the milliput. I think that will be quite good actually. That's probably going to be a really good way of covering up any holes and things. You know, there's quite a large one there, look. But this could look quite nice actually, quite interesting when it's finished. So I'll get the holes filled in, and then I'll come back to you once I've done that. Okay, so there we go. So all I've done is just mixed up the milliput's resin and just put it in all the little holes. I've actually only gone with the one colour, rather than mess around changing colours everywhere. I mean, there's enough colour in here, you know, and the orange terracotta will just sort of hopefully mix in with the rest of all the colours. So I think that should work out quite well, really. Again, we may have to come back and do this again, I don't know. I'm not too sure about keeping the shape as it is yet. I don't know. Again, now I'm looking at it, I'm not too sure whether to keep this lip rim here or whether to cut it off here, and just have it. Looking at it, it looks like it might look better without that now. I don't know, but we'll see. I'll come back to this tomorrow morning now. Right, so we've got this back on the lathe. It's been left to cure overnight, so now I'm just going to turn this and just blend this in, and that should fill in all the gaps really that we had before. So I'm just going to go lightly over this because I don't want to take too much more off of the actual piece. I think I'm happy with the way the piece is at the moment. I just may finish off the bottom here somewhere different, I'm not too sure, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so just put another coat, put a couple of coats actually of wood wax on this now. I did use some of this Hampshire sheen initially, but which, you know, did a fairly good job, but it's all gone sort of mouldy. I've only just bought this actually, it's just come in the post the other day, and I don't really know if that's right or wrong really. I'll have to obviously contact the supplier, but you know, the bit that it did a fairly good job, but I'm going to leave that now. I'm not going to use that just in case I've got to send that back. And I'll put a coat of wood wax 22 on there. I'm just going to buff that off now. So there we go, look at that. It's looking quite nice. Getting that glass effect now, which obviously is quite nice. Obviously, if you look quite closely, you know, you're going to get some blemishes with these types of projects, but yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that actually. Yeah, that looks really nice. I think what we'll do is we'll probably, I don't know, might cut it back one more with some fine, and then put another coat of wood wax 22 on it. But I think I'm pretty happy with the shape now. I mean, it's an odd kind of shape, it's an odd kind of piece, but you know, hey, it's made out of pencils and resin and, you know, a couple of bits of wood. So I mean, it's strange anyway. So I mean, I could chop the end off here and have it just running down as a flat, sort of, so it goes in like this, or I could leave the lip. I don't know. You know, I could be here forever really trying to figure out which way and to do it, but I think it's quite nice as it is really. So I'm going to finish it off, and then I'll come back with the final finish later on. Okay, so here is the final piece. As you can see, it's got quite a nice shine on it, and there. This actually took quite some time. It's a bit of a funny shape, sort of, maybe it could be an urn or something, or but I mean, it's a funky piece anyway, so you know, I don't suppose it really makes too much difference. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed, you know, doing it. I wanted to do something that was with the pencils again, and I think this has turned out quite well. I'm not sure how many pencils are used in here, and I'm not going to count them. But it's quite nice using the resin actually. I love the resin in this, because if you can have a look closely, I don't know if you can see that or not, you probably can't, but you can sort of see like a 3D effect with it. I don't know if you can see that. So it's got like a 3D kind of image effect on it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching. It is quite a long video, this one, but obviously there's a lot of detail in this, and there's a lot of work that went into making this. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you picked some bits and pieces up from it, if it was helpful, if it was something that you're thinking about doing, or if you're just watching just because you like seeing different things made, then you know, please like and subscribe, and any comments is always helpful. But yeah, there it is. So finally we got there in the end, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.